Syracuse University. We're here at North Star Academy. This is my classroom, Miss Palma, first grade. Before we even step inside, I just really quickly want to show you some examples of our great student work that we display in the hallway. We've been working a lot with nonfiction texts and using KWL charts to preview, know what we want to know, figure out things that we've learned. So these are some examples of ways that students have used KWL throughout this unit and some of the great responses that they've been giving us. You'll also notice that these are, every single one of our scholars' names is on the board up here. And so what we do is we track their monthly writing compositions. So we have them going down chronologically, so we could see their progress from September all the way until when they leave in June. So that's something that's always on display. Our classroom is working with some scientific meteorologists studying the weather, so some forecasts are right out there. We also have things called Wow Word Challenges. So basically, before you even walk into our classroom, you're going to be able to get a good idea of where our students are with the academics and with the rigor of our classroom. So let's come on in. This is something that we use to track our student progress. This is how I show the progress through September, and we'll continue to do this until June. This is our STEP literacy assessment. This is our tracker. It has every student's individual names. I think one of the best things about my classroom that I'm very proud of is that if you look around, you're going to see that 90% of the work on the wall is all student made. So I really display and make it a point to display the work that they're doing and the progress that they're making and the great things that they're producing at the end of each lesson. So, and anything that you see here that's written on chart paper is all handwritten during that lesson, so the instructional signage that is on the wall is authentic and the students have a context for it all. And so they have their independent reading books, and they're logging the books they read. Is it challenging? Too hard? And they're writing book reviews for those. So that's on Mondays and Wednesdays, and that takes place in this area. The other days they're on the computers with a reading program. This is our science and social studies wall. I display key vocabulary. It's right in the front. I put certain students who I know are going to need extra attention. I put them closest to the board, and I put this right up here. So some abstract ideas, if their eyes wander, their eyes are always wandering over here. Our literacy wall, I'm very strong and anchored in literacy throughout all curriculum. So this is a wall that's very intricate into our classroom, has all of our reading strategies. This is a sample of a preview sheet that students fill out before they're reading independently. So when we have literacy discussions at the green table at the desks, in their writing as they're reviewing books, you're discussing and using these strategies. So I'm wondering, I'm predicting, I'm visualizing, I'm noticing, so that we're connecting literacy throughout the whole entire cross-curriculum. These are the books for their independent reading bin. I've labeled them. They're labeled with each group's name, which is specifically targeted for their STEP level or their literacy level. So you'll see I have 3 groups here, and they're varying levels of books in terms of literacy for amount of words, comprehension of the text. Over here is just an extension of social studies and science. We have our world map. This is where we do our read aloud. Our math meeting area, we're always incorporating number of the day. And if you'll notice over here again, this is something that I'm very proud of that we do in our classroom. Whenever we debrief a math problem, we write specifically how the student broke down their thinking. We write it, we chart it, and we write the student's name next to it so they have a sense of ownership. That way, when students are looking around for strategies to use for math, they're like, oh, I see that one student solved this problem this way, another student solved it this way, and they can figure out what works best for them. An example of the writing wall, and again, so some wow words to up the rigor that we use. We encourage them to use them throughout the day, and we encourage them to use these words in their writing in daily conversations. Transitions take less than 30 seconds to get to and from the carpet. We use these lines as a way to show students where they're going to walk, how they're going to walk there from station to station during literacy blocks. And we also have a behavior chart where if I give out a check for misbehavior, you might say, Alza, your check. You get 3 checks. You get a color change. And if you're on yellow or red at the end of the day, unfortunately you don't get your star for the day. But if you are on green or blue, you get a star. 5 stars during the week, you get to go to treasure chest.